spend enough time online, you'll hear the same lines over and over again. Black people need to fix themselves. Get off welfare. Stop blaming the system. But what if I told you most of that narrative is wrong and it's been recycled for generations to distract us from the real story? How policy, not personality, shaped our economic landscape. The idea that Black America is broken or lazy isn't new. It's a repackaged justification that's been used since emancipation to explain away mistreatment. In reality, most Black households are working households. Over 85% have at least one employed adult. According to the CDC, Black fathers who live with their children are the most involved fathers in America. More likely than any other group to read, to bathe, and to play with their children. And while the media pushes welfare dependence, the majority of Black families receive no public assistance at all. The problem is not a lack of work ethic. It's that labor has not translated into ownership. And that's not by accident. It's by design. Let's talk about the numbers. In 2023, the Black buying power reached $1.7 trillion. That's larger than the GDP of Mexico. Over 3.5 million Black-owned businesses now operate nationwide. And Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. But wealth isn't only income. It's ownership, it's access, and it's capital flow. For nearly a century, federal housing policies, discriminatory lending, and unequal education funding limited the ability to accumulate assets. The redlining maps from the 1930s became blueprints for modern mistreatment. These weren't just cultural failures. They were structural barriers. And yet, despite all that, Black communities continue to innovate. Across the country, a new generation is building a different economy. One based on cooperation, ownership, and legacy. In Atlanta, the Russell Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship mentors hundreds of Black startups. In Mississippi, Hope Credit Union reinvests millions back into underserved communities. And in Tulsa, Greenwood Rising preserves history while funding new Black-owned ventures. The constructive shift isn't about asking permission. It's about creating the blueprint for ourselves. So how do we keep building? Well, first, we must own what we create. Invest in land, intellectual property, and businesses that generate equity. Second, we must circulate the dollar. Support Black-owned banks, Black-owned stores, and Black-owned services. Third, we must educate forward. Be sure to pass down financial literacy, estate planning, and investment knowledge. Fourth, we must collaborate and not compete. Shared ownership beats solitary struggle all day, every day. And number 5, we must think generationally. Plant trees whose shade we may never sit under. This isn't about replacing anyone. It's about restoring balance through construction, not complaining. So the next time someone says, black people need to just do better, tell them we already are. The real story isn't about deficiency. It's about design. And we're redesigning it. One brick, one business, and one family at a time. This is the Constructive House, where we don't just talk about our problems. We build solutions to our problems.